Hey everyone, this is Flash, Squatter Talk Tuesday, Squatter Talk Live. I have a special guest here today to share her nightmare story in Washington. And it's, I love that I have an opportunity to be able to help victims have a voice and to be able to help others by sharing their experiences in hopes that maybe it will help you from not having the same nightmare experiences. And, so without further ado, I'm going to bring on our guest today. And she can tell you for herself, because it's much more important than me talking about someone else. Here we go.
Okay.
Hi, welcome. How are you doing, Ruth?
Oh, well, I think I have aged 20 years in 2 months. It has been one of the worst experience I ever had in my life.
Oh man, yeah, it's everyone's experience is, they're the same but different. But
Yes.
it's they all have the thing in common, that it's emotional and it's draining, and it's like you said, it ages you. And
Yes. Mm-hmm.
yeah, so it's so yeah, so go ahead and share your story. You can share your personal experiences. One of the things that this, giving a voice to victims is all about is creating a legal format for you to be able to share your personal experiences. Don't say something that like an accusation. Just stick to your personal experiences and the truth, because at the end of the day, as long as we share experience and truth, then that's what this is all about. And then
Yes.
there, so yeah, so I guess, share the location. Where's the location of our squatters?
This is located in Yakima, Washington State. The
Yakima.
and Yakima.
Okay.
And yeah, and I there is 11 units in this building, and I had at the moment I had 3 units available. And generally, I always follow the procedures to ask like a background, like referrals for other people and all those things. And in this case, what happened on this happened on May 26th, and where I received a phone call of a gentleman saying that he looked the announcement outside, that he would like to see it, and he went and see it, and then he said like, I can offer you, cash, for it, but I really need to get it right away. I'm just traveling, and his name was Cornelio and all that. And generally, I never. Well, that's a lie. I sometimes I do kind of like fall for that a little bit, but I do have a person in the building that helps me show the place, and so he's kind of like my right hand on the building. And when this person came, his name was Cornelio Antunes. He said like I didn't have to worry about money, rent. He's a hardworking guy, that he owned properties himself, or things like that. And I asked my right hand, is like, what do you think about this person? And he said, he looks like a hardworking guy. He looks like legit and all that. And so like, and I skip my procedure of getting referrals. And I was like, okay, fine. So he gave the money in cash for the deposit, and to enter a few days early, and for 4 days, end of May. So my right hand received the money, and he didn't give the keys or anything like that. But that Cornelio asked for the passcode of the building and all that, and he gave some phone numbers. So the next day, for the next 2 days, I was calling this person that already paid on cash, supposedly, the deposit, and we agreed that we're going to do the requirements the last 4 days of May in order to have a contract for the rest of the month. The phone numbers that he gave, nothing. Nobody was answering. And I was like, that's odd. There is a person that pay on cash, and now I cannot reach it to this person. And the next thing I knew is that my right hand person, that his name is Gonzalo, he told me, just to let you know, well, that day he came with a woman that looked very strange to me. And this woman started entering the building with a coat, and she started moving her things inside. And then by the third day, I received a phone call, and there was a woman telling me, "Hi, I'm calling you for the apartments on rent." And I told this woman, "Everything is already rented." "Oh, yes, I am one of your renters." And I'm like, "What are you talking about?" "Yes, I am the one that is renting Unit 8." And I'm like, "And what about Cornelio?" "No, he was just helping me. It's me that is renting the place." And I'm like, "Well, I was not on the understanding that this was the case. Like, how many are you?" And then she proceeds to tell me, like, "We are 5 people. This is one bedroom unit."
Wow. So
And I said, like,
I call that a bait and switch.
"Yes." And I was like, and and I was like, take aback. And I said, like, "Well," and at that moment, the way I handled the situation was like, because I didn't know who she was and all that. I wanted to keep things a little bit more distance. I didn't want to disclose exactly that I was the owner of the property. So I kind of like refer, like, I don't think the owners would like to rent one bedroom apartment to 5 people. And it's like, well, I don't see what is the problem. It's like, well, I think there is a problem for one bedroom apartment. And then she's like, well, I can send you my resume. And like, no, I don't need resumes. I need your job, your income. I need a referral from the previous place that you rented. And she just threw a story where, like, oh, the previous place I rented, the owner died, and the son kicked us out, and he treated us really bad, and we lived there for 5 years, and all that. So I don't. The owner is dead, so you cannot get a referral. And when she never sent the requirements that I asked from her. So 4 hours later, after that phone call, I said, like, I don't want to do deals with you. So please contact Cornelio because I cannot reach out to him. We're gonna return the deposit. I don't want to do any deals with you. And she hung up the phone on me. And the next thing I knew, she was already moving her stuff into the unit. And when I arrived, and I said, like, no, you get out of the place. It's like, no, you cannot kick me out because I already have my kids here. And I'm like, yes, you need to get out. I don't have a contract with you. Just get out and tell me where is Cornelio, because I don't want to give the money to you. I received the money from another person.
Mhm.
And I guess squatters really know what they're doing, because this is not the first time that she did this. And but she looked into my eyes and said, like, you cannot kick me out. And you cannot kick me out. And of course, I called the police, and the police came, and they said, like, yep, we cannot remove her. She has already groceries in the refrigerator.
Wow.
And that was one of the first calls that I did to the police. And I was like, I cannot believe this. I cannot believe this. And it's not only the 5 people that were living in the apartment, but she started bringing a lot of uh, drug addicts, probably from the street. So in total, I had 8 people living in that one bedroom apartment, and 5 to 6 dogs.
Wow.
And within a week, they burned the kitchen. The fire department had to come. They
Like
burned the whole stove. Yeah,
bad
they.
cooking or just neglect?
Uh, well, they put a printer on top of the stove and they turn it on.
Wow. Okay.
And then, yeah, so part of the walls are burned and all that. So I tried to, and the police at that time, they told me, like, they are renters. They are not renters. They are not.
Have they,
But you need to go to the court. And
aside
I'm
from the deposit, have they paid you any rent?
Well, they gave me $900, and they gave me $120 for the 4 days on May to enter early, because not they. Cornelio, the person number one, is the one that gave me the money. Can I enter early and I can pay you, you know, $120 to start early?
Right.
And I said, like, sure, but it's still your application is pending. I need to find out more information about you. But Cornelio was just a puppet, and I had to hire a lawyer, and the world is really small. The same lawyer that is trying to help me in this case is the lawyer that helped this woman get removed from the previous place that she was staying. So the true story is that she did the same scam to an elderly person. He did that. She did that, and she stayed in that house for 5 years, rent free. And it's true. The owner passed away, and finally, the son is the one that, uh, once the property was under his name, was able to hire the lawyer and go through the process of kicking them out. But the way they entered that place was through Cornelio as well. They use it as bait. They will send him first, and he looks like a very nice working guy, always a promise. It looks, I don't know how to describe it, but when you see this guy, you don't have reason to doubt. Like, it looks like you're talking to an honest person, and but he's part of the group.
Yeah. Now, have you seen Cornelius since then?
Yes, a few times. I really don't know what is the. It seems like he is the father of the two older kids or something like that. And I talked to him and I said, like, why did you do this? Like, it's like, I think you're right. Why don't you come to the property and you help me remove her? I'm like, I know that's illegal. I cannot touch her. But well, I feel like he played the role of an innocent person, kind of. You're in the right, she's in the wrong. Whatever you say, you're in the right, and he always will say that, but he will not do nothing. And when the police came and finally confronted him, and at the end of the day, he turned out to be just part of the group.
It's all part of the game.
Yep.
He is the yes man. He's the one. He is the
That
one
you
that
see.
goes and
Yeah.
looks good, acts responsible, tells you that you're right, agrees with you because
He
he's that
agreed with
person.
me the whole time.
Yeah.
Like, even when I finally got his number, I said, like, let me return the deposit. I say, sure. And I said, I will return the deposit when you remove these people from the unit. And then he will go show up. I'm here. It's like, did you remove the people from the unit? No, I'm just waiting for you to do it. But he always acts like the nice guy, like,
Well,
very
they're
agreeable to everything.
yeah, they're hoping to get another 5 years. So I'm hoping that I can help avoid that.
Thank you. Yes,
So
absolutely.
I
And
know that you shared more with me. So it's turned into quite a nightmare. And what has happened since then?
well, the first thing that happened is that they burned the kitchen down, and but the firefighters said, like, this place is still livable, so they didn't leave. And then because of that, there were electrical problems in the building, because it's a almost 100-year-old building, so everything is connected. So the electricity always comes and goes, and so they started stealing electricity from other tenants. Tenants start leaving. They start stealing electricity from the halls, and I called the police. I think probably I have 45 to 55 calls to the police, and the police at some point they just stopped coming. It's like, we're not gonna come anymore. And I put lock boxes on the outlets, and they will break the lock boxes. They will open their doors and they will let their dogs walk inside the building and poop all over the building. They burst the plumbing, and uh, they are in Unit 8 in the second level. The Unit 2, it has been having leakage for the past 2 months.
Like plumbing,
This yeah, past 2 months, and I
like
have
feces, like toilet leaking.
kitchen leaking and bathroom leaking, but not necessarily toilet. I think it's coming from the shower. I really don't know what is. I think probably it's for the amount of people that are living there, and the pipes just completely. verse is just like the tenant in number 2. At the beginning, he showed some videos. It's literally it seems like it's raining and you're inside of your apartment. And I try to enter the apartment, and like they are playing the role of tenants, so they don't let me enter the apartment even though I give 48 hours notice. They because no, I am a renter, and under the law I'm a renter, and I'm not going to allow you to enter the place. So I
Yeah, but
couldn't even
under
take
the
pictures for
under the law,
insurance.
you are allowed to enter. So in that situation, what I would suggest is having law enforcement come out as a civil standby. So you're not calling them as a complaint, but you
Mhm.
should be able to get them out to assist you to enter the unit. And you just put on your notices inspection, for
Mhm.
inspection purposes. But as long as you get law enforcement to assist you, you should be able to enter the unit. To
Finally, I was able to enter with a court order.
okay, good.
I was able to enter, but I think, like I said, these things had been happening. Like these people, they are awake the whole night and they sleep during the day, and they put music the whole night. Like I said, I called the police like probably once a day for the first month, and the police stopped coming. Said like there's nothing else that we can do to help you. You just need to go to court and find an order. Like like police stopped coming. Like I felt very frustrated. I felt like I was the victim, and the laws and the rules were in favor of criminals. Because for me, it's like these people are dishonest people. They're destroying my place. They're harassing the other tenants. They're stealing electricity. They're breaking my property. They're destroying the property, and the police will tell me there is nothing that we can do.
Yeah. So, in my experience, Washington is one of the worst. And I know that the laws prohibit law enforcement for doing much, but do you feel like the individual officers are still like feeling for you, or do you feel that you're just not getting support from them at all, regardless of the law?
I think at the beginning, the officers wanted to help, but once the other officers that they were in higher hierarchies will come and say like, well, actually the law says that they already have food in the refrigerator, they are considered tenants. So
Yeah.
they stop the other officer. Oh, sorry, our boss says like you need to evict them now because they're considered renters.
These, it's unfortunate, but a lot of these law enforcement agencies are so worried about backlash,
Yeah.
lawsuits. They are so worried to step out of the boundaries of the law that
Yes.
they're shy of it, and
Oh,
because of
absolutely.
because of that, they won't even push the barrier. They won't even, they just stand down and say it's a civil matter. There's nothing we can do. And, you know,
Exactly. I think that's the feeling that I had. It's kind of like they were even scared to do something. And it was so frustrating because it's like, well, it's nothing that we can do. It's a civil matter. You need to take it to court. And I was like, they burned the place down. And on top of things, the manager that lives in the same building that he helps me, with the garden or things like that. He helped me to put notifications on their doors, like, hey, I'm trying to enter the place, I need to see what's going on. But they will always decline. But every 2 days, I will go with a notification. So he was just like putting notifications. I have no idea how they did this. They um, they got an order, for anti-harassment order against my manager because
yeah,
he was putting notifications on their door. They said
you
like, you're
know,
putting 45 notifications. That's harassment.
yeah,
And
I have a term for that, and it's using the judicial system as a weapon.
mhm.
And they think that it's like, what kind of a system do we have that allows you to file something against the person that is like mediating or coming and putting a notice? How
Yes.
the law has made it legal for them to literally stop a person from being able to enter the property to put a notice on their door. And, it's everything is so upside down. One of the things that helps me in these situations, we're talking about law enforcement and how they're so afraid of the backlash. I think in some cases, I think that the reason why I have the support I do is because they sit back and they let me do it. And somehow I think the higher ups are like, okay, well, let Flash have the liability. So if he's doing it and we're just standing there, it's not our problem. It's him. So, I'm happy to be that guy, but I always feel like they're just afraid. Now, the other side of it, because of the way the law is, if I have an officer that comes out and he's gung-ho and wants to do something, I typically have to ask them to stand down and relax, because if I get an officer, for example, I shared a video not too long ago, and it was an officer going up to a squatter saying, "You're a squatter, get out." And he was like really gung-ho. I actually had to bring him down, ask him to stand down, because if law enforcement illegally evicts your tenant, then the liability falls on you.
Okay.
So you have to be very careful. So as much as you want them to come in and stretch the law and kick them out, if they do that, then you're liable for it. So
I didn't know that.
Yes. So you have to be very careful, because when you end up in front of a judge, if it's an illegal lockout, it's an illegal lockout regardless of who did it. Okay. And that's why I can't just go lock people's tenants out. Man, I would be so popular. I would never have any time with my kids if all I had to do is just go here and lock them out and go here and lock them out. I can't even do that. Okay. I just kind of stretch the law enough to be effective. But so you have to be very careful also. So as much as it's frustrating that law enforcement isn't doing that, you really don't want them to. Okay. Because they're not the ones that are going to be getting in trouble if a judge rules that you are guilty of self-help.
Okay.
So, I'm going to continue working on your case. And, I know that, we had some delays there, but I'm on it, and I'm going to be, working your case and hoping to make a difference. And, yes, as much as I feel for you and what you're going through right now, I see these people as someone that, the world should know about.
Absolutely.
Because they have been doing this. We know right now of two times, but it's possible that they have, a long history of doing this.
Oh, absolutely. And this woman is just the funny thing is that supposedly she and her family have disability of some kind, so they receive help from the government. And when we had our first hearing on court, she's representing herself, and I swear she knows more about law than my lawyer.
Yeah.
And I'm like, are you kidding me? Like, I don't see any disability here.
Yeah.
But I think this person is the type of person that milk the system. They just know everything about the law, and they know how to do it. She just practically laughed at the police officers when they came. It's like, that you're wrong. You cannot do anything. This is a civil matter. In the law, RCW, and she will recite the law. And I'm like, as painful as this is, I had been almost 2 months without sleeping. I have to say, wow, I learned a lot about law.
Yeah. And, you hit the nail on the head. Most of these people, and they study this. This is their job. This is you figure they're saving the amount of money they're saving per year in rent or a mortgage. This is like a job for them. This is income for them. So they study these laws just like I did. How I got started was studying the laws and finding the loopholes and seeing how I can work the system. And that's how I got started. So now I have them trying to work the system here and me trying to work the system here. And, we're like on the battlefield. So, but yeah, I have not run across many stupid squatters. I mean, they all
Yeah,
know
well, they're
what they're
super
doing.
smart.
Yeah, they know what they're doing. Sometimes it's like, okay, so like the stupid person pays rent. I mean, is that the
Yeah.
way? That's the way the world wants us to look. So yeah, I appreciate you coming on. Is there anything else you want to share today?
Well, actually, I had a blessing in disguise. I don't know how soon I'm gonna be able to know from the court, like where we were having some loopholes. Like this affected my health terribly. Anyway, so I told you that I had to be in the hospital for how much stress I was under. All my tenants start leaving. They don't want to do anything to do with these squatters. So one by one, they say like, sorry, like, I'm giving you notice. I need to leave the place. Yeah, I cannot live near these squatters for their self-protection. That's right. And the leakage happened, the electricity happened. So that was a blessing in disguise, even though a torture for the tenant in unit 2 that had to live like this. But we're trying to get a preliminary injunction, uh, so we're gonna see how much, also like maybe with your help and the lawyers help, we can try to for the judge to say like, hey, this person needs to leave because the damage in the property, the leakage has arrived to 3 floors, from the second floor to the first one to the basement. It's practically, we're talking about $100,000 in repair.
Wow.
And but anyway,
So
but yeah, and I feel like, oh my goodness, I think I will never do this in my life, and I will never, like, never again, never again. I really don't know, like, it's making even me think like I want to sell any properties that I have, because this has been so deteriorating for my health, for my family life, for everything. It has affected me in every way. Like, it has been a very bad nightmare.
you
And
know I mean, that's people being able to tune in and hear the emotion and hear what you have gone through, I think is so important. I think that, a lot of people don't really understand until they're going through it themselves, you know.
oh,
So, I mean,
absolutely.
your health is more valuable than money, but if you could put a dollar amount on it, that it has cost you, we know, okay, so approximately $100,000 in damages, attorney fees, court costs, what would you
Yeah.
say that so far loss of rent, including the loss of rent of tenants that are now leaving, what would you say that this is costing you up to date?
Probably this will arrive between 150 to $200,000.
Yeah, I mean that's horrible. I mean, $100 would be too much. So,
I know.
wow. Well, we are gonna continue to be in touch. I'm gonna
Yes.
do what I can for you, and I appreciate you coming on and sharing with us and my viewers. And I can't thank you enough for that.
No.
I think that
Thank
that's
you.
the thing. That's the
When
thing that I think that doing this and allowing victims to have a voice is so important. So, but I can't do it if I don't have people willing to come on.
No, absolutely. And actually, the way I found you was through YouTube. And when I saw you, I felt like, oh my gosh, he's the answer. Like, he can help me. And I felt hope. I felt so desperate. I felt like I'm alone. I feel like not even my lawyer could have helped me. I felt no police couldn't help me. And on top of things, I received messages from them, like if the judge grants me the preliminary injunction for them to leave, they threaten me. It's like, oh, if we leave, we're gonna make sure that you never forget us.
Yeah.
We're gonna
Well,
leave a mark in your life for the rest of your life. And I'm like, are they gonna burn the place down?
yeah.
I don't know.
Well, I have
I-
the ability to put a mark on them for the rest of their life. So, and I
yeah.
can do it legally. So, if it gets to that point and it gets to a point where, it's not going in your favor or something, and you have vacant units, then we can always talk about, us going and moving into that building.
Okay.
So, there's no reason this should cost you everything.
Okay. Well, thank you. Really appreciate it. Thank you. And I appreciate everything that you do. And I hope that people can watch your program and prevent and learn from others' mistakes.
Yeah, exactly.
Yes. Learn from others' mistakes.
Yeah. I think that's it right there, right? If we can all learn from each other's mistakes, we'll be better off tomorrow.
But at the same time, also learn that in your worst moments, there is people, good people like you, that has is willing to give your time, and share this with other victims, because I felt victimized. I felt victimized by them, by society, by the laws. You just feel so lonely, and you just feel like, what do I do? And I still need to pay the mortgage. Yeah, very frustrating.
Yeah. All right. Well, I'm going to do my best for you, and we're certainly going to see their names and faces on the registry when that comes out, to help others look out for them, and make sure they don't fall for this bait and switch scam.
Absolutely. Thank you so much.
All right. Well, thank you so much for joining. All right. Take care of yourself. Okay.
Okay. You take care. Okay. Bye-bye.
Wow. Okay. So, again, this shows why it should not be me telling these stories, because the emotion that you can hear in these people's voices, these are the things that I hear on a daily basis when I do my consultations. I go on to Zoom with these people, and there's emotion, tears, anger. I mean, it is so hard sometimes to, to hear it and to know that people are living it. But that's why I'm doing this, because I think that you need to hear it from them. It's one thing for me to go on a news program or do an interview somewhere, go on YouTube and talk about these situations. That's nothing in compared to you hearing it from them directly. So this ends today's program. This was Flash from Squatter Talk Tuesdays. I want to tell you that, to take care of yourself. If you have a non-paying tenant, if you have a squatter, if you have an occupant or somebody who is unauthorized to be in your house, apartment, building, it's property. Remember that. It's not worth risking your life. Call law enforcement. Let them go out and make sure the property's safe. The moment they tell you it's a civil matter and there's nothing they can do, your family's safe, get a hold of me, go to squatterhunters.com, and let's talk about outside the box options. I'll do a Zoom with you. We'll talk about options and how I can help you and how you can help yourself. This is Flash. Take care. All right. Take care now.